Ferrari's 2026 campaign has moved beyond the stage of merely being competitive. The team now possesses nearly every ingredient required to evolve into a serious championship contender. While the early results haven't been flawless, the underlying development trajectory is unmistakably positive. The SF26 has delivered consistent podium finishes across the opening races, demonstrating strong point-scoring reliability and the ability to perform effectively under a wide variety of track conditions and weather scenarios. This represents a marked improvement over the frustrating inconsistency that plagued the team throughout the previous season. What stands out most is how well-balanced the car's strengths have become. Ferrari already excels in cornering performance, boasts a robust aerodynamic package, and enjoys a far more stable and predictable handling balance than before. These qualities enable both drivers to maintain strong race pace while managing tire degradation with greater precision and confidence. The primary remaining shortfall lies in engine power, particularly noticeable in straight-line speed and acceleration out of slow corners. Interestingly, this situation might actually work in Ferrari's favor from a development standpoint. When the majority of a car's systems are already performing at a high level, addressing one concentrated area of weakness can unlock disproportionately large overall gains. The team is approaching this challenge with clear direction rather than desperation. A well-defined upgrade roadmap is already in motion, with a significant package planned for the Miami Grand Prix and further opportunities to enhance power unit performance through the existing regulatory mechanisms. This structured approach indicates that Ferrari is focused on building long-term momentum across the entire season, not just chasing quick fixes. The real question emerging now is whether Ferrari needs just one decisive step to bridge the gap to Mercedes, or if a more subtle, hidden performance deficit still lurks beneath the surface, waiting to reveal itself under greater pressure. To truly assess whether this marks the start of a genuine title battle, it's essential to look beyond the headline results. On paper, 3 podiums from the first 3 races paint an encouraging picture, yet a deeper examination reveals that Ferrari has not yet found itself in a position to truly dominate or control a Grand Prix from the front. The difference compared to Mercedes isn't measured solely in championship points, but in the way races actually unfold lap after lap. Team principal Fred Vasseur has been candid about the situation, acknowledging the straight-line performance deficit without offering excuses. "We know that we have a deficit of performance in the straight line and that we have to work on it. But it is like it is," he stated, a comment that reflects both realism and quiet confidence that the issue is understood and solvable. That power shortfall, estimated at around 20 brake horsepower, becomes especially punishing on circuits with long acceleration zones and extended straights, as seen clearly during the Japanese Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc experienced this firsthand. He could match or even challenge Mercedes through the technical sections and high-speed corners, only for the advantage to evaporate once the cars hit the straights. Still, Leclerc refused to fixate solely on the engine. "Surely, the Mercedes power units have a big advantage over us at the moment," he admitted before quickly adding perspective. "We must not forget that there are huge gains in developing also the chassis, the aerodynamics, putting the tires in the right window." This holistic view is shared throughout the team. Rather than treating the power unit as the single scapegoat, Ferrari is optimizing the car as an interconnected system where every element supports the others. One of the most encouraging developments with the SF26 compared to last year is its greatly improved predictability. Both Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton have repeatedly praised how much easier the car is to drive across changing conditions, from varying track temperatures to different tire compounds. That enhanced drivability directly translates into better tire management, more consistent stint performance, and the flexibility to adapt strategies on the fly without being undermined by sudden balance shifts. Hamilton's smoother integration into the team has been another key factor. After a challenging debut season adjusting to Ferrari's environment, the 7-time champion now speaks of a much more harmonious setup. "It's a huge difference," he explained, "learning the new tools, the culture, the way people like to work. It takes time, but we took so many learnings from last year and we're applying those now." This growing alignment between driver and team was evident in Hamilton's hard-fought podium in China, a result that highlighted Ferrari's ability to maximize output from both sides of the garage even when the car isn't the outright fastest. "It felt like I've never had to work so hard just to get a podium," Hamilton noted, underscoring both the intensity of the current competition and the effort required to stay at the sharp end. A significant part of Ferrari's current strength stems from its aerodynamic platform. The SF-26 produces impressive levels of downforce, especially in medium and high-speed corners, allowing the drivers to carry impressive speed through sections where rivals often lose time. This downforce advantage helps offset some of the straight-line deficiency, though it cannot fully compensate for it over a complete lap. Time lost on the straights frequently proves difficult to recover entirely in the twisty sections, which explains why Ferrari often runs competitively close to the front without quite being able to seize control of proceedings. The team's development philosophy reflects this understanding. Instead of gambling on massive, high-risk single upgrades, Ferrari is pursuing steady, incremental improvements that integrate seamlessly with the existing package. This methodical strategy, shaped by the current technical leadership, aims to minimize any risk of regression while steadily raising the car's overall performance ceiling. The upcoming Miami Grand Prix will serve as the first major evaluation point for this approach. Ferrari is preparing a comprehensive update package that touches multiple areas at once. A revised floor expected to deliver additional downforce, targeted aerodynamic refinements for better efficiency, weight-saving measures, and important cooling optimizations. The cooling developments are especially noteworthy, as better thermal management can positively influence both power unit output and tire behavior, effectively broadening the car's operating window. Work is also continuing on the rear wing, with an updated design addressing earlier stability issues observed under heavy braking in the previous Macarena specification. These components were recently evaluated during a filming day at Monza, a circuit chosen deliberately for its combination of long straights and demanding braking zones. The data gathered there will help refine the package before it hits race conditions. Beyond the chassis and aero work, the current regulations provide Ferrari with a valuable lifeline for power unit development. Based on performance estimates, the team appears well positioned to benefit from at least one additional upgrade token under the system designed to assist manufacturers lagging in engine performance. If even a portion of that power deficit can be closed, the cumulative effect on overall lap times and race performance could be transformative. However, external factors have complicated the timeline. The cancellation of the Bahrain and Saudi Arabian rounds forced Ferrari to reshuffle its original upgrade introduction schedule, placing greater emphasis on each subsequent package to deliver meaningful gains immediately. In the broader competitive landscape, Mercedes continues to set the standard, not only through superior engine performance but also through clinical race execution and the ability to convert advantages into victories. McLaren, meanwhile, has shown flashes of genuine threat, particularly when free of technical gremlins, as demonstrated in Japan. This adds another dimension of challenge for Ferrari as it seeks to climb the order. Despite these hurdles, the overall trajectory for the Scuderia remains encouraging. The team possesses a clear-eyed assessment of its strengths and weaknesses, a coherent development plan, and a driver pairing fully committed to the shared goal. These elements don't always align perfectly in Formula One, and when they do, they often lay the groundwork for meaningful progress. As Vasseur summarized it, success in this phase of the season comes down to doing a better jump than the others. Every team is developing rapidly, but the championship battle will ultimately be decided by who extracts the most performance from their improvements. Leclerc's composed performance in Japan, where he skillfully managed energy and positioning to keep George Russell at bay, illustrated the growing strategic maturity within the team. At the same time, the complexities introduced by the 2026 power unit regulations, particularly the intricate interplay between battery deployment and combustion engine output, have created new operational challenges. Drivers have spoken about difficulties in precisely controlling energy delivery, which in turn affects overtaking opportunities and defensive driving. In this environment, it's not enough to simply possess more power, it's about deploying it intelligently at the right moments. Ferrari's current shortfall is therefore not just a hardware issue but also one of system optimization and operational execution. Ultimately, the season is approaching a pivotal crossroads for the Italian squad. The foundations are solid, the development direction is focused, and the regulatory opportunities exist. What remains to be seen is whether these pieces can be assembled swiftly enough to fundamentally alter the competitive hierarchy. If the Miami upgrades perform as hoped, and the power unit gains materialize through the additional allowances, the gap to Mercedes could narrow dramatically, shifting the narrative from consistent challenger to genuine title protagonist. If the progress proves slower than anticipated, Ferrari may find itself stuck in a familiar role, competitive enough to excite, yet still just short of the decisive edge needed to win races and championships consistently. The coming races will provide the answers. Ferrari clearly has the building blocks in place, but the margin between podium contender and championship fighter remains razor-thin in modern Formula One. What are your thoughts? Do you believe Ferrari has everything necessary to launch a serious title challenge this season, or do they still need that final, elusive step to truly close the gap? I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments.